We all say we love photography. We say that it inspires us, it gives us a reason to go out in the world, and it's an artistic endeavour that is food for the soul. We say lots of these different things, and we save up a lot of money and we buy some good gear, we get some cameras, some good lenses, and then we're going to change the world of photography. Yet you're still sitting in your house watching this on YouTube. So why is that? In this video, we're going to look at that horrible word, procrastination. And the ironic thing about it is I was going to shoot this video last night. But procrastination is something that can be beat, and you just have to break it down into little chunks. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to look at steps that you can take to make sure that that horrific mountain of effort doesn't put you off in the morning, and you do pick up your camera and you do go out and capture magnificent sunsets like this. So let's call it what it really is. Procrastination is the excuse machine. It's the excuses that we make to our brain to make us feel less guilty about not going out. And you know what they're like. It's the weather's too poor, I'm too tired, I've got too much to do in the house, I've got a lot of work to catch up on. And while some of them may be true, we stack them one on top of the other until we've convinced ourselves that we shouldn't go out. Now, I mentioned weather's sometimes a good excuse for when not to go out. And as you can see at the moment, I don't really have any issues. In fact, I've got sunglasses on, it's 8 o'clock in the evening and it's still 30 degrees in Scotland. I have no idea what's going on, but we're going to take it while we can. So whilst I don't have that excuse tonight about rain or whatever it may be, there were still other things in my head that made me think, do it tomorrow. We've got too much on today. So what we are going to make sure doesn't happen is that we allow procrastination to try and protect us from failure. That failure from going out and making a video that we say in our head might not be the best. So we're not going to wait for motivation. We're going to build momentum, because action comes first and then inspiration follows. You might notice in this video that there's not many photographs from me at the start of it, because I'm going to show you them all at the end. So stick around for that, and there is a reason why I've done that. So let's talk about the faff and all the things you need to do when you want to go out and take some photographs. It's not rarely as easy as just grabbing your camera and going. We've got batteries that we need to charge. We've got memory cards that we need to check are either full, emptied, copied, backed up, all of that. We need to pack our gear into a bag. We need to think also about what are we going to wear on our feet? Where are we going? What is the weather like? We've already touched on that. And there are a lot of steps there that if you think about them as one big pile of tasks, it's enough to make you think, let's do that later. So we're going to break it down. And what I tend to do is if I'm going on a photo shoot, say I'm going on a Saturday, then at least by a Thursday, I've checked the weather forecast, I've got an idea of what kind of photographs I want to take, and I then choose a suitable location. So once I have that locked in, I then can think about what I'm going to wear based on that weather forecast. And I'm not stupid, I live in Scotland, so even if it says it's going to be a day like this, it rarely turns out like that. So I always have a backup plan. But the key is to have it packed the night before you go. So while I'm still excited about getting up in the morning, going on a photo shoot, and it's Friday night, I get my camera bag, I make sure my batteries are charged, I make sure my memory cards are empty, and I've got everything stacked, and I'll leave it right at the front door so I have no excuse. I tend to go one step further and I lay my clothes out for the following day as well, so that when I get up in the morning, jump in the shower, straight back out, dressed, pick up the bag, gone. Absolutely seamless. And then the preparation doesn't stop there, or should I say, the fun doesn't stop there. So you've got your bag, you've got your camera, you've chosen your location, and you know what the weather's going to be like. Now all we need to do is get there. And for some people, that's a pain in itself, because they start to think, well, it's an hour and a half to get there, and it's an hour and a half to get back. And that's 3 hours on a day where I might go shooting for 3 hours, and that's a whole day wasted. But that's only if you look at the journey as being a chore. Now, I know this is one of those old age sayings, but you have to enjoy the journey, and I'm not being metaphorical there. So literally what I do is, if I'm going on a fairly long journey, my first stop is McDonald's. I'll maybe treat myself to a sausage and egg McMuffin and a wee hash brown and a cup of coffee. And then I get myself on the road, turn on my tunes or a podcast or whatever it is, and I settle in and try and enjoy that part of it as well. Because when you're driving to your destination, make sure you're looking about, see if anything captures your eye and thinks, I'm going to go there the next time. So there's lots of scouting opportunities when you're making your journey to your next location. And I promise you, if you start to ritualise that part of the day out, it just makes the whole thing much more fun. And again, if you enjoy it on the way back, added to the fact you may have some great photographs in your camera, then it's just a fantastic end to a day. Well, I say the end of a day because we're not finished yet, and we're going to go on to part 4, and that's when we get home. When you get home, you might be tempted to think that's you're done. But trust me, you're not, because you've still got those photographs to edit, you've still got your batteries now to charge, you've got the memory cards to back up, to empty and put back in the camera, because what we want to do is start the process for the next time before this one's even finished. So again, myself, when I'm done, I'll put my memory card in, get everything saved onto the computer, upload it to Lightroom, and then I start wiping the memory card or put it back in my camera, and then I take my batteries out and start to charge them. And I know then that if I decided that I want to go again in the morning, all my stuff's ready to go again, and I can start that cycle again, going for my McDonald's, maybe not every day, maybe have a Nutri-Grain bar, cup of coffee, on the road, tunes banging, do it all over again. And that's how you form consistency. And if you want to get good at anything in life, consistency is the key. So once everything's on charge, sit down at your computer, get yourself a nice cup of coffee, or if you're so inclined, maybe help yourself to a wee dram, and then start to edit your photographs. But make sure you take enough time to do that, and don't make it a rush job because you think it's the last task of the day. That's why you went out. You ultimately went out to take photographs so you could sit and edit them. And that's the prize of the day. That's what you went out to get. So take your time and try and see if some of your shots might turn out to be portfolio shots with a really good edit. Don't rush them and think it's time for bed. Action is the most important thing here, guys, because if you don't take action, you'll A, never get better, and B, you'll never create a routine that makes you into a more regular photographer. So again, I started this 4 or 5 years ago, building my routine about how I go out, how I look forward to it, and what I do when I get back to the house to make sure I'm always ready to go again. Because the most important thing is, guys, if you don't take action, you never give yourself a chance of capturing some good images. The images that I'm showing you just now were basically taken because I did follow that plan of attack, that regularity of going out, and that consistency of taking more photographs. And had I not done that, then I wouldn't have these images to put in my portfolio, and most importantly, I wouldn't have these memories to look back of those lovely journeys I've taken around this wonderful country. If you're interested, guys, I've started a new newsletter, and there's a link in this video. I haven't written the first newsletter, but if you'd like to be one of the first people to receive it, then click on there, put your email address in, and once I've done it, I'll send it straight out to you. In the newsletter, I'll give you some more tips, hints, and places to go and things to see, techniques to try, and hopefully it'll be a little bit of fun too. So click the link below and just let me know, David, send me the newsletter, I'm all in. Anyway, guys, to tide you over to the next video, I'd watch this one because it's 365 days in Glencoe that I shot over, guess what, the period of a year. I'll see you in the next one, guys.